Good morning, students. Hope you are keeping fine. Once again, I come through this video to you. Please open your book, history book. Remember, in last video, we were discussing about the Chinese civilization. And the last part of our discussion was location and the two important rivers by which the civilization developed. Remember the Yangtze and Huanghe. Huanghe river is important one because that is the river bank that is known as the cradle of the Chinese civilization. Cradle means where the civilization grew up. It started and grew up. That's why it's known as. Okay. So today we will discuss further about the life of the people of a Chinese civilization. So when we discuss about the life of the people in Chinese civilization, we have the first thing is the society. So because people lived in a group, in a society, whenever people live in a group of a similar kind, that forms a society. So that becomes a one social group. Okay, so here there were number of social groups because most of them were indigenous people of the place. That means people who were from the ancient time, from the time immemorial, they were living in that place. So they were living in a group. That's why they are social life we will discuss. Now, social life of the Chinese civilization from ancient time was divided into hierarchical form. So the Chinese society was hierarchical in nature. It is written that. And so the hierarchical means the stages, different stages of social group. So first one was the noble or the king, the emperor. After that came the nobles, king, the emperor, and the nobles, and then merchants. After that, there came the farmers, the craftsmen, and the farmers. The lowest part was the slave. Now, one group we have left. What is that? The armies or the soldiers who were under the service of the emperor. So soldiers had a special group. Hopefully they came from all the groups of the social group. Among the social groups, they were selected ones, and so they were kept in a particular stage of hierarchy. Okay, so the soldiers were had the special group, special hierarchical group. Okay, so and they were constantly at service to the emperor. So people usually they lived in groups or a clan. It's called, there is a head of the clan. Clan means today in the simple word, in our context, it is the tribal. So there is a headman. Among the group there is a headman, one group, and he leads the whole people of the same kind. The clan means people of making a group of people of a similar kind, a unique kind. That is called not mix up of different types of people. No, one type of people living together under one leadership is known as the clan. Okay, so they also lived in a clan. So they were tribal people of that place, or in the other language, most sophisticated language, you can say indigenous people. Okay, that is about the society. Remember the social hierarchical group of the king, then comes the nobles, then comes the merchants, then craftsmen, the farmers, and the slaves. Okay, so Next point of our discussion is religion. What type of religion they were having, they followed? Which type of religion they followed? People, surely they were of the nature, so they worship the forces of the nature. Now, what are the forces of the nature? Mountain is a huge thing which they admired, so mountain god. River was so powerful, it flooded and took away everything during the monsoon season, and so for them it was a powerful thing, so river god. There were cloud and the thunder, so that is also part of nature. So thunder god, the sky god, sun god, the moon god, all these are the forces which affect the people. Today also we are affected by various climatic condition, and these are the factors that affect the climatic condition, and we are also the part of that climatic condition according to which we are living. So our life is directed. So the main god was the Sangdi or Sangdi god, son of heaven. Emperors were known as Sangdi. They also believed in ancestor worship. That means they had the ancestral god, forefathers, god of forefathers, ancestors of worship. So ancestors, most prominent one were worshipped. Archaeologists and astrologers and the study of oracles were popular. That means this foretell. Oracles means the written hierarchical thing of their own tribe. Okay, so that was written. So oracles, and also they together with them, they were linked with the ancestors, and so they were depending on they believed in the ancestor god, so they take care of that. Today also we have got ancestor god. Okay, so oracles bones were read by priests in order to look into the future of this. So how the future is developed. Okay, so and what is the condition, what will be the future of the family or a particular person, all these were written by the priest. Oracle bones were usually made from the shoulders blade of oxen or the shell of the tortoise. So these bones, there was writing material. Bone was symbolized that time, it was the writing material on which they were writing. Okay, oracles were written. Oracles means hierarchical study of a particular family. Okay, today we have got the patra. Okay, patra in Hinduism, we have got the patra, and so the rashis and the patras, all these are the forms of oracles. So today we go to the Panditji and ask, what is my patra? My name is so and so. I was born on such date. So see my patra. What is the future? My future. Can you tell? So the priests were saying. Today also people are there. Pandits are there. So they were doing that same thing. Okay. Did you understand? Yes. So these questions reveal to archaeologists a great deal about the daily life during the Shang dynasty. During the Shang dynasty, remember that it is the first dynasty, Shang dynasty. That's the earliest dynasty. I have told yesterday that Shang dynasty. Two major religions or philosophers, Taoism and Confucianism, shaped the history of ancient China. So see, later on they were nature worship. Later on, philosopher came up. Two major philosophers, Mr. Tao's and what called Confucius. Two major philosophers were great philosophers of China. Developed this Taoism and Confucianism. All these isms are the philosophy or the learning or the teaching of a certain way of teaching done by Tao, Mr. Tao and Mr. Confucius. They developed as a way of life for the people. So it is known as ism, Taoism, the Confucianism. Okay, Hinduism, all these are isms. So Taoism and Confucianism shaped the history of ancient India. Okay, all these were those days it was not written, but when writing developed, then they were initiated by this Tao and Confucius. Confucianism developed from the teaching of Chinese philosopher Confucius in the 5th century. What is this 5th century? 5th century means after 500 years after the birth of Jesus. Okay, pieces. It has long been considered the dominant religion in China, Confucianism. It was a practical and an ethical philosophical system meant for everyone. So everyone, how a person should live in a group or society, that is the rules and regulations in the society, how to go about. Today we don't have written social rules and regulations, but we have traditions, we follow that, and we have certain customs, traditions. That is how we live, our life is. And then religious teaching, each religion has certain way of life, teaching of life, so we follow that and we lead our life that way. So that is called the philosophy. Taoism was founded during the Zhou dynasty in the 6th century BC by Lao Tao, that is Zhu. What's the name? Is Lao Zhu. These traditional Chinese religious teaching combined the elements of religion and philosophy on the way of teaching. This became the way of teaching to the people how to live. So this is how these are the things that today we are going to learn. Okay, please go through it and stay safe. Thank you.